Ja, herzlich willkommen zu einem neuen Interview und bei mir habe ich heute Jericho Energy Ventures. Wir haben ein letztes Interview gemacht im März, Mitte März 2021 und seitdem ist es ja wieder viel eigentlich passiert. Bei mir ist der Williamson, er ist CEO und President und er wird uns einfach jetzt sagen, was im letzten 10 Monate so alles passiert ist. Es hat einen Haufen News gegeben, ein paar interessante News, die mir auch so aufgefallen sind, aber da wird er jetzt dann noch gleich mehr selber sagen und es geht auch einfach um Wasserstoff. Wasserstoff, das große Thema generell, das wir brauchen, um CO2-neutral zu werden und Wasserstoff ist dabei ein riesengroßes Thema und er wird uns jetzt einfach mal die letzten Entwicklungen sagen. Brian, thank you for your time. And I said in my German introduction, our last interview was middle of March 2021, I must say so. This is roughly 1 year ago. So, your primary target or the primary what your company is doing, the hydrogen, is really going hot. Every newspaper writing about this, every stock magazine is writing about this. So what's happened in the last 10 months by your company?
So Joe, it's been a really busy year for us, and I would say that since we started our focus on hydrogen, we've done a lot of things that I think are really exciting and going to be a big part of the economy. So, it all began with the acquisition of Hydrogen Technologies, which is our hydrogen zero emission boiler. Throughout the last year, we've done some great things with the boiler. So we have now our next generation boiler is in production and patents are filed on that boiler. We actually have signed our first customer, and interestingly enough, it'll be in the UK. We were the winners of the green whiskey competition. And so, the whiskey world is going green and we're going to be a big part of that. So pretty excited about that. The project's gotten kicked off and they are in the process of putting everything together there on Ely. So that's really exciting for us because there are probably close to 90 distilleries that could be potential customers as we kick that off. And so that's a pretty common theme for us, Joe, is we've really taken hold of the food and beverage space and sort of seen that as a place where there's an opportunity to not only deliver products that have cleaner local source foods, but also cleaner processes as well. And so pretty excited about the distillery and what we're doing there. We have also built our portfolio. So we have this amazing investor base that have been supportive from the very beginning. We have this legion of CEOs who have backed us from day one, and they continue to support us. And they financed us 2 times over the last year through 2 different vehicles. So you have the Breen family, Ed Breen, the chairman of Dow DuPont, the Bellsberg family led by Strauss Zelnick, 2 world famous CEOs who are supporting Jericho from the beginning. And I would say that those financings have led us to add to our portfolio. So in addition to advancing our hydrogen boiler, we've added 2 really unique electrolyzer technologies to the portfolios. So we think if you look at the hydrogen market, the clean green hydrogen market, the projections show it to a $10 trillion market as we get to 2050. And we are so far behind in terms of availability of electrolyzers. They're coming. Everybody is out. Everybody is building gigawatt factories. But we think that there's going to be a whole host of new electrolyzers coming to market. And so what we have focused on is those game-changing technologies that will make the next generation of electrolyzers more cost-effective and more efficient for people. One of those we did with a collection of just fantastic investors, a company called H2U. They make catalysts, right? So they are making earth-abundant catalysts. So in the electrolysis process, precious metals are important. They're a big cost factor and a growing cost of the electrolyzer. What H2U does is they deliver earth-abundant catalysts. So 90% of the efficiency, but 10% of the cost. So allowing the world to grow, right, and allowing electrolyzer costs to come way down over time. So just an amazing technology out of the world's or the United States' #1 technical school, Caltech. Have a great set of partners there. We have the Dolby family, the Dolby sound system family. We have Hess Energy as our partner in that. So real excited about that and what we're doing there. And then we added another electrolyzer technology just a couple weeks back here, Joe, which, right now, most of the hydrogen is all for ammonia and steam methane reforming. And that's at high pressure, right? So right now there's a $70 billion market squarely focused on the production of ammonia and steam methane reforming. We invest it with lower carbon capital. And so a lot of people don't know who lower carbon capital is. Lower carbon capital is Chris Sacca's venture fund. Chris is a founding investor in Twitter, Instagram, and all things that have been great with the internet. So amazing opportunity to have Chris as our partner. But what is so unique about this technology? So most of the things out there produce hydrogen at no pressure, at ambient pressure, and it has to be compressed to use it, right? And so when you make ammonia, you need 200 bar pressure, which is a lot of pressure. Supercritical has developed a technology to take the process and using supercritical water, which means water which is the molecule bonds are broken down. So high heat, high pressure water producing 200 bar hydrogen. So direct shot into the ammonia market. And we think it has the opportunity to transition the ammonia market to a completely green hydrogen system over the next 2 years. So game-changing technology, huge opportunity to bring this new class of electrolyzers into the green hydrogen market. And what I would say to you is when people look at our strategy, a lot of people don't realize this, but the UK probably got a couple hundred applications for their green distillery program. And Jericho, they picked four. They picked four technologies out of all the applications they got. 2 of the 4 are Jericho portfolio companies. Supercritical was a winner, and HTI, our boiler, was a winner. So 2 of those 4 technologies are inside the Jericho portfolio. So when people think about what is Jericho, where we've been, where are we going, and where are we going to be tomorrow, for us, we want to give everybody access to the pain points, a portfolio of solutions that focus on the hydrogen value chain, not just the production of hydrogen, but the use of hydrogen, the storage of hydrogen, the transportation of hydrogen. So we want you to get the entire hydrogen value chain in one portfolio, because we're not here to tell you which pieces are going to win. We think the hydrogen is a winner in the energy transition, and we think you want to be a part of the whole value chain. So that's been our strategy from the beginning, and that's what you're seeing us execute on now, Joe, is applications and uses of hydrogen with the boiler, production technologies with the electrolyzers that we've done. So down the road, you'll see us doing storage, transportation, things of that nature, right? So when we're done building this portfolio, you will see a fully baked, fully developed hydrogen value chain. And it gives people the opportunity to be investors in the whole value chain and not figure out who has the better electrolyzer, who has the better storage solution, right? You get everything in our portfolio, and we think that's what makes us special.
Okay, Brian, that's very interesting. But coming a little bit down to this distillery and Bruichladdich, I know the company. It was very interesting when I see your press release and say, hey, the whiskey distillery I know. And interesting was also that I saw then a report from Bruichladdich itself, so not from your side, that they're talking about this project, and it's very interesting, especially for the whole industry. As you say, there's many distilleries in UK and in Scotland, and so if this really works and the people understand it, that this green technology is very important for the industry. So what are the next steps now with Bruichladdich, and when we see the first results out of it?
So Bruichladdich has been a great partner. They are on the cutting edge, right? There's a theory out there by a lot of investment managers that companies are either leaders or laggers. Bruichladich's a leader. and they are on the ground trying to help push this project to completion. And so our expectation is that they're in the design phase, feasibility phase, and site setup phase. So we think that'll transition into the build phase in the next quarter or two. And the expectation is that first clean steam will be somewhere towards year end, with all the necessary approvals in place. And, everybody is pushing and working together to deliver that solution there. So it's been a great experience, great team, and they've been very involved from day one in wanting to deliver it to that facility, because to your point, Joe, they are a leader and they want to see this through in the sense that it's an opportunity for them to transition all of their facilities down the road, right? So, Remy, who is the owner of Bruichladdich, eventually could see it in their gin facilities, in their cognac facilities, and all of those places. So, incredible opportunity for us. Bruichladdich has been a great partner, and that's what we continue to look for, is those leaders, people who want to see their processes transition, because going green doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, right? So if your intent is to reduce your emissions by 2030, 2040, you're making capital decisions today in 2022 that impact that transition, right? And so to me, that's the key, is thinking forward, because it's not about the cost of carbon today, because carbon has never been free. We've just chosen not to pay for it until now. Or we've chosen not to charge for it, but we can't do that any longer. And so, you need more Bruichladdich in the world leading the way, saying, look, we're taking the step forward and we're going to make clean energy a key piece of our process.
I think it's also the marketing guys love this idea. So it's always good when you say it's a green whiskey or something like that. So that is the moment, and I think it's a big driver in this industry, that everybody is looking for green technology, green or CO2 low emissions. So I think this is a very, very good driver, and helps then also the CEOs of all the big names that hey, we're doing something and we are not the bad guys, we are the good guys. But it takes time, that's for sure.
Takes time. Yeah, and I think that's a good way to look at it, because they want, the marketing side of it is, look, we've been thoughtful about your ingredients and we're improving every day in the ingredients in your product, and now they're taking it a step further so that they can say, not only is it the ingredients in your products, it's how we make your products.
I think that's right. That's what we see also with other companies. You see the discussion going in this direction and say how we produce this stuff, and it is the the product itself. The product stream is green, and that's very interesting. So that was the history, beside the Bruichladdich that was coming up in the next 12 months. But what other stories coming up in the next 12 months, so that we see this is maybe a potential driver for the share price?
Yeah, so there's a whole bunch of really interesting things in the works in Jericho. So I would say you will see us continue to build our team. So last year we added an amazing group of technology folks in Jordan Urbeck and Remy from the Capella Group. But you will see us in 2022 continue to build on that and adding more depth to our team. I also think you'll see us continue down the road of early adopters, leaders, buying and doing studies on how to install our clean steam technology. In the markets that you would think, in Europe, in Canada, in the US, there's a heavy push to get clean energy into those facilities there. And, Bruichladdich was a springboard. I mean, we have more inbound inquiries from Fortune 1000 companies in the last 4 months than we've had in the entire 2 years now that we've been at this. So you can kind of feel the momentum, you feel the push coming from those folks. And I think the other thing you'll see from us is, we're working hard on doing things in the mobility space. We believe there's a big push coming in the hydrogen participation in mobility, and we're working real hard to make that a part of Jericho.
Okay, so that's mean news flow from the main power side, new deals from investment side, I must say. And yeah, Bruichladdich we talk about already. So, but investments brings me to the point, investments cost normally money. So from which side the money will come?
So if we at the end of last year we just did a capital raise. So we just took in 6 million Canadian dollars, which we used in our supercritical portion of which is in our supercritical acquisition, and a portion of that will be used to inventory boilers, our hydrogen boilers, so that we can accelerate the adoption, because the supply chain is still tricky across the board. It's not new to us, that's for everybody, but having the ability to accelerate the delivery of our standard hydrogen oxygen zero emission boiler, and a real push into the mobility space. Eventually we'll look to do something in the financing, but that won't be for now. That'll be a time frame down the road as we continue to grow. But for now, we're in good shape from a cash perspective. So, investors seem to like what we're doing. I mean, we've had really good support, really good momentum as we've kicked off the year, and we expect it to only continue.
One last question to the boiler business. You say you're taking something to inventory that you can have more control over the supply chain. So how the business is running? What's order inflow coming? Are already orders coming in for the new boiler, and how the thing works here?
So we have lots to say on that in the near future.
Okay.
But we're pretty excited to inventory some boilers for folks that are very interested in what we're doing there. And to your point, Joe, they are moving in that direction because that is what their board is pushing. That is what their governing bodies, their regulatory groups in those countries and in those regions. It's the first time in my career, and my career is getting out there. I mean, I've been doing this for 30 years. I've been working, and so what I find amazing is this is the first time I've ever seen this global push, right? Whether it's the United States, Germany was always a leader. Germany has been pushing hard on the green initiative for years. You have all of Europe, you have the UK, you have Canada, the US, now you're seeing South America coming into play, you're seeing Asia come into play. Everybody is pushing towards reducing our carbon footprint. And so when you get that kind of momentum, and if you think about this, right, in 2018, there was $8 billion in ETF money that focused on ESGs. Last year, there was $100 billion raised focused on ESG. So you have the investment community, you have the regulatory community, and now you have the corporate community all pushing into a greener and cleaner environment. And we think that the things we're doing are going to be a huge part of it. And we think that the sky's the limit for where we're going with what we're doing.
That is a very fantastic endpoint, I think. Brian, thank you for the interview. Thank you for the update. Hopefully we have time in 6-9 months that we can talk again, so that we can recap all the new things. And I feel the same. So we see now really the momentum in the market, and I think this is really what we want. That the capital market, the financial markets want to go in this direction. Then it will be happened. And I think this is the important thing.
We agree, Joe. Thank you for the time. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Ja, es war ein Update von Jericho und es war ein sehr interessantes Update. Seit unserem letzten Interview hat sich ja wahnsinnig viel getan. Wir haben auch, also für mich ins Auge gestochen ist natürlich der Deal mit Bruichladdich. Bruichladdich ist ein großer Whisky-Produzent, der in einem großen Verband ist, nicht nur Whiskys produziert, sondern Remy, die dahinter stehen, haben wir nicht nur Whiskys, sondern eben, und nicht nur einen Whisky, sondern viele Whiskys Hersteller, dann auch Gin, Cognac, alles. Und das ist ein Projekt, das auch von der UK ausgeht, das auch gefördert wird, und ich habe auch das dann gelesen von Bruichladdich selber, weil ich deren Informationen auch bekomme, wie das weitergeht. Das ist ganz klar Fokus auf grüne Technologie, quasi Dampferzeugung, grünen Dampf zu erzeugen, das sie brauchen auch für ihre Whiskyproduktion. Und da sieht man jetzt, dass eigentlich das in die Richtung geht. Die Leute gehen nicht mehr, dass das Produkt grün ist oder gesund ist oder so, sondern auch die Produktion des Produktes muss grün sein. Da ist Wasserstoff natürlich ideal geeignet. Und man muss diese Company, das habe ich letztes Mal nicht so verstanden, das ist mal viel deutlicher, das ist wie ein Investment Vehicles. Er sagt, das ist ja in UK war das ein Contest, wo sie mehrere beworben oder sehr viele beworben haben, nur 4 Technologien wurden ausgewählt und bei 2 ist Jericho drinnen. Das eine ist das Supercritical, da haben sie sich erst vor kurzem beteiligt. Das andere ist ein Boiler-Business, das wir ja auch mit Bruichladdich haben. Und das ist eigentlich was wirklich sie sind und sie sehen sich auch als Inkubator, sie wollen sich neue Technologie von der ganzen Lieferkette, was Wasserstoff betrifft, nicht nur die Erzeugung, sondern auch den Transport, die Storage dazu, sich positionieren. Und das macht es eigentlich relativ spannend. Ich habe natürlich dann auch gefragt, die Investment kosten natürlich auch Geld. Ja, sie haben erst vor kurzem eine Convertible Debenture gemacht für 6 Millionen. Da haben sie einfach einen Teil auch verwendet für Supercritical und auch einen Teil, um Boilers, also Equipments zu kaufen, damit sie ihre Boilers produzieren können. Und das ist auch spannend, weil ich gesagt habe, wie schaut es denn da aus? Habe ich gesagt, naja, da wirst du in nächster Zeit einige News davon hören. Also werden wir mal sagen, ich habe da nicht wirklich was sagen können, aber es klingt extrem spannend. Also der Newsflow dürfte gut sein. Ja, interessante Company. Wasserstoff werden wir nicht wegdiskutieren können. Sie haben sehr gute Partner. Wasserstoff wird ein Teil der Energieversorgung des nächsten Jahrhunderts sein. Sonst wird CO2 nicht zum Schaffen sein. Also dass wir diese CO2-Neutralität bekommen bzw. die CO2-Produktion eindämmen. Sehr spannendes Update. Habe ich echt interessant gefunden. Das war Jericho Energy Ventures von Brian Williamson. Er ist CEO und Präsident dort. Und ja, in 6-9 Monaten werden wir wieder ein Update machen. Das war's von, heute ist der 2. Februar 2022. So, tschüss und Baba, pfiat euch. Brian, thank you for your time.
Thank you, Joe. Nice seeing you. Thank you for the time. Take care.